This week on Socratic Cinema.
Oh, yeah.
Are you chopping my hide?
We're
I'm
greasing
ruffling
your
your
meatballs.
What?
You're
Huh?
Who
Ruffling
said that?
feathers? What kind of phrase is that? I've
Yeah.
never heard that one.
For real. We only grease meatballs over here.
It sounds so bad. Oh, I hate it.
Because you asked to watch it.
Why do you think that you would not like Paddington 2? It seems like a ridiculous thing.
That's a fall movie.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Socratic Cinema Podcast. I will be your host for this segment of the podcast. But first, let me introduce my co-host. I'm Charlie Heatherly.
I'm James DeLisio. I just peep. I'm so scared right now.
And I'm your ghoulish guide, Kasey Clark. Ooh.
Is this real ghosts?
Yes, you shouldn't have built a recreational center on ancient grounds. Ooh.
We know what you do in your spare time, Jay.
I know what you did last summer.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough.
All right, welcome everyone.
12:33 this morning. No.
I know what you did last summer. That was a very daring inclusion. I appreciate that.
Thank you. You know, I do for the people. Speaking of people, we're first of all, we're
Speaking of
folks.
people, what?
Speaking of people, we're the type of people that just love fall. So we don't necessarily have a specific movie that we're going to be looking at this week, but we'll be covering fall media. You know, fall, that season in between summer and winter, where it just gets a little bit colder and sweater weather starts rolling around and leaves start falling.
At least
Somebody please stop me.
That's
Unless
what
you're
I
in
think fall is
California.
like. Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard
We
that's how
don't
fall is.
actually
Yeah.
experience seasons here.
To us, fall is when it goes
Man,
from
we don't feel fall
when it
until like January.
goes from 95 to 80.
Oh, yeah.
Which is this week. Ooh.
But you put a sweater, you put a flannel on just to convince yourself that it's colder than it actually is.
Fall means layers.
Fall means gaslighting yourself into believing it's fall. So we're here to do something a little bit different because the season is undeniably starting. Even here, we've had uncharacteristic weather the past week, and we were thinking to ourselves, let's interrogate this idea of fall media. It's a thing that resonates with all of us, the idea that there are movies or books that are just better enjoyed during fall. The seasonal media is something we've talked about in other episodes. I forget what actual episode it was, but we definitely talked about it because someone messaged me after and was like, here's some seasonal media that I think of. But this is I think an interesting thing that is worth further discussion. So we're here today to talk in general about fall media. What is it? What makes a piece of media fall media? What are some of our favorite pieces of fall media? Maybe we'll toss around ideas for some stuff to cover in the coming weeks as the weather gets colder and colder, and we get closer and closer to a little day called Halloween.
Ooh.
And then a little day called is the 1-2 punch, followed by another little day called Thanksgiving. And then it's already Christmas season. This is like a slip and slide of the best time of the year. It starts now. So today, I would like to start our investigation. There's no initial impressions to give because there's no specific movie we're talking about. But I think the opening question of the day is fall media. What is it? That was directly lifted from the Savor podcast. I'm so sorry. Just huge fan. Huge fans of your
cited
work.
your work. Yeah, no, that's good.
Just a massive. So, fall media. Does anyone have a definition they would like to give? I think everyone sort of understands the feeling of it, but what is it? How would you put it into words?
I was talking to one of my roommates right before this podcast, and we were talking about what to us makes a fall movie. And one of the big things that they mentioned, this is not going to be a complete definition, but I think an important part of it is color. Because when I said, what is your favorite fall movie? They said, I'm just thinking of movies that have the color orange in them.
Real.
And I think that's sort of true, actually. Movies that have these very big, bold autumnal colors, your reds, your yellows, your oranges, remind me very much of fall. And I think it might be the reason that my own personal list of my favorite fall movies and television shows is almost entirely filled with animated movies rather than live action, is because these animated movies can get that color a lot more boldly and a lot more clearly. So I think that typically color is going to be a very important thing in fall, but as we live in California, it's green and blue all year round, all the time, except for when we're on fire. I guess that's when it turns red and orange.
Yeah.
But I think we got to make sure that the movies that we're touching on at least have some sort of hint of the colors that we're looking for.
I think that's a very fair criterion. Kasey, what is fall media for you?
I definitely agree with Charlie that there's something about that colorway. That's the soft oranges, the fiery reds, those browns.
I like we had like a pretty adjective on the other ones, and then it was just brown.
Well, auburn, warm browns.
Okay. Yeah.
And honestly, like, fall is very hard to put into words. But I would definitely say it's a movie or media that just makes you feel cozy. The wind is a bit chilly outside, but I'm inside wrapped in a blanket with a book with this in the background. I can imagine myself in a cabin with my little footsie socks. Like it's giving very relaxed, relaxed and somehow academic. Something about
actually
fall,
so true.
Like something about fall movies. It's always it's because if we take you're at the beginning of the school year when it's in fall, so you have a whole bunch of movies. Like if they're centered around school or if it's a coming of age movie set in the fall, then there's always some sort of walking with your backpacks through orchards and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah,
it's very academic.
Yeah, that's real.
And cozy. It's great. I love I just love it. Plus, it can also get a little spooky, which is one of my favorite things. Yes.
That's very true.
We love getting spooky.
We do. We, to varying degrees here on the Socratic Cinema podcast, love getting spooky. But in case you haven't caught on, fall media, if you just want your little textbook definition, all it means is media being movies, TV, books, music that elicits the feeling of autumn. I take this very seriously. I take seasonal media very seriously. There were multiple times this summer that I wanted to watch something and I went, no. I must wait. It's not time.
Yep.
I have some annual traditions pertaining to fall media that I think we can talk about. But I think you guys both brought up some interesting criteria for what makes something fall media. Color, absolutely. Gotta have, if you're gonna make something that feels like fall, it better have the fall color palette.
For
Kasey,
real.
I'm very interested in the school point because I think that's a very it's something I didn't even consider, but it's back to school is also fall. When I was researching what other people think about fall media, I saw a lot of those kinds of answers. I saw people were like some of the Harry Potter movies or Dead Poet Society. And I was thinking at first, I was like, what are you talking about? It's not fall. What you mean? But yeah, I think I now that when you stop and think about it, for all of my life, fall is intrinsically tied to back to school. I'm also interested though in seeing if how do I put this? I think there's they're brother and sister, but I do feel like there's a distinction between fall movies and Halloween movies, or maybe like Halloween movies are a subsection of fall movies.
Yes, definitely
like-
a subsection.
Sure. Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's, I think, an interesting point to dig into a little bit. To me, I think the spook factor is definitely welcome, but I don't necessarily. I think it's very important that fall movies be comforting. Like I
Yes.
don't a fall movie. I do not want to be upset by a fall movie. You know,
Yes.
I don't think a fall piece of media should make you go, or cry. Well, maybe cry. I don't know. But like fall movies should be very cozy and comforting, like you said. So I wouldn't put, there's some Halloween movies that I would definitely consider fall media. Like, I mean, there's like I don't know, Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands, Coraline. But Coraline's not even explicitly about Halloween. I think it just fits
that's
so well.
Halloweeny though. That's
It
really
is.
Halloween.
It is.
Exactly.
real
That's what I'm
Halloween-y.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And our job here today is to pick apart. It doesn't take place at Halloween. Why does it feel Halloweeny? Why does it feel like fall? But those movies definitely fall media. But I wouldn't take like a super like horrifying like The Exorcist or like a super viscerally scary movie. To me doesn't scream fall media as much.
Well,
there are
here's an
some-
interesting thing with that. Halloween, the movie. It's set very explicitly during Halloween, right?
Yeah.
I don't really feel like that's a fall movie for the reasons that you're saying, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's not cozy. I think the one thing that makes these kinds of Halloween things feel more fallish than like horror Halloween is that they have a little bit of like whimsy or weirdness to them in the way that Coraline does, right? It's this stop motion, it's the buttons on the eyes, it's got all of these weird, wacky little details that sort of add the cozy comfortingness that you want, but it's also putting that little dash of scariness into it as well. So
Yeah.
Halloween, although it's a Halloween movie, not really feeling it for like an autumn movie. It's not giving me the same vibes.
Interesting. See, I think I'm thinking about like Scream right now, and how I feel about whether Scream counts or not. I feel like Scream has enough sort of campy nostalgia factor to it that Scream slips the bonds of Halloween scary and becomes sort of cozy fall to me. Not so much as other movies like Edward Scissorhands to me is a big hitter in the fall category. But these are all sort of what I would consider the more Halloween adjacent ones. There are plenty of fall movies that have nothing to do with Halloween, like Over the Garden Wall, or that's a TV show, but Over the Garden Wall, or Fantastic Mr. Fox, or someone, there were some weird ones. Someone brought up Batman Begins.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, it is set in the fall.
That's such a okay, but that doesn't really feel like a fall movie, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right,
It's something I have to. I think, and that's another big part of this discussion. Fall media is very person specific, right? What feels like fall to me might not feel like fall to you, because we have very different, perceptions of what fall is, and our experiences color that in. To me, one of the biggest fall movies is Little Women, 2019. I've wanted to rewatch that movie for months and months, but I'm putting it off because I know it would be better when it gets a little chillier. But I mean, that movie's not like, it takes place over years and years. It's not set during the fall. I think it's more to do with the coziness, the color palette, the fact that it does not rile me. It puts me at ease. So I mean, at least for me, those are more things that I look for during the fall. So I'd be interested in also looking at the flip side, where it's what are some pieces of media that have nothing to do with Halloween or Thanksgiving, but still feel, very, very much like fall.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, you've spoiled half my list already.
Oh,
so,
really? I'm sorry.
Yeah, screw you. But
Ooh,
whoa.
yes.
Hey, yeah.
One thing about Charlie.
I just got an idea. Go, Charlie, so I can talk. No, I'm joking.
No, if you have an idea, then go ahead, because I was going to bring up Die Hard, and I think it's better that we delay
Ooh.
that, or preferably
let's
until
delay
even
that.
after the episode.
I was going to say the first two Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, scholarly pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, very daring pick. I see it. Wait, so the first two are Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, and then
Prince Caspian.
Mm,
Because Voyage of the Dawn Treader is way too like it's set in the summer.
That's a summertime movie for the girls. Yeah, that's that. Dawn
It
Treader.
is for the girlies.
I buy it. I feel I'm feeling the vibe you're putting out here.
Thank you. Thank you.
On a similar note, Fellowship of the Ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another interesting thing that I'm picking up on. This theme of new beginnings, right? Of like discovering some sort of mystery, which is weird because you'd think that like spring is sort of that. But with spring, I don't really connect it with the idea of new beginnings in media. I think very specifically like related to the school thing, new beginnings in fall feel a lot closer connected to me.
Yeah, and I think part of that's definitely our personal experience. We're still deeply entrenched in the student life. But I mean, you think about themes of harvest, gathering. I think it's definitely applicable. I think that may have something to do with my Little Women thing, because a lot of that movie is about how these sisters drift apart and come back together. Feels very much like feels very much tied to ideas of gathering or harvesting.
Right, yeah.
I think, new beginnings. That's an interesting, and you wouldn't expect that, right? Because at least nature-wise, it's like sort of the opposite of what happens.
Yeah, because nature-wise, it is very interesting that like with the characters or within the media that we're seeing, that we have like as you were saying, the new beginnings, like stuff happening, you getting adjusted. Oh, shut up.
wait, like events occur?
You're kidding me.
Oh my God, let me
Plot develops?
Wait, no shot. There's a character?
Never mind. I'm not.
No,
I'm
go
done.
ahead, Kasey.
I'm
Go
done.
ahead.
I'm
We're
done.
razzing you. We're joshing
my
you.
favorite part of fall. Yeah,
Are you chopping my hide?
Oh, we're
I'm
greasing your
feathers.
meatballs.
What?
You're greasing.
Ruffling
Who said that?
feathers? What kind of phrase is that? I've
Yeah.
never heard that one.
For real. We only grease meatballs over here.
Oh, it sounds so bad. Oh, I hate it.
Well, what I was saying is that like having that right next to or within a season where basically everything's just dying, but it's such a beautiful death. Like, what do you, right?
No, I'm laughing at the irony in that. I'm not laughing at you. It's just a funny concept.
Oh, this is the slam poetry segment of Socratic.
Yeah.
Right. Leaves falling down, and then you snap.
Down.
But go on, Kasey. We have.
No, that was the end of my point.
Okay,
that was the end of my point. I shortened my point.
What about I know you guys can't read, but what about fall books?
Whoa. Hey, just because I'm illiterate doesn't mean we need to reveal that on air.
For real, we told you that in confidence.
Guys, words are just funny pictures.
Shapes and colors.
Do you know the thing, the like conspiracy theory where the girl from Glee can't read?
Leah Michelle, I completely believe it. That's what you get.
I just recently saw a clip of her like announcing some award at an awards show, and she like opens the card and looks at it, and then like passes it to her host or like co-host, and he announces it.
See, she's illiterate.
Yeah, I was like, you cannot read it. I don't think you can read it. Speaking of reading, fall books. Do you have any strong opinions on this?
Give me goosebumps, baby. Come on now.
Yeah, real.
Princess Bride, I feel
might
have a little bit of fallishness.
Fascinating. I don't know.
It's a little summery, but it's also
in
a
the
little
forest.
Is it also a little wintry and springy?
It's also a little. Well, it takes place over a very long time period,
right?
But I think Princess Bride has got it's very cozy, right? It's comforting. It gives you because like it's a narrative within a narrative within a narrative. And the idea is that it's this guy who got the book read to him when he was younger by his dad, which is how it is in the movie. And it's like, you're sick, you're in bed, it's cold outside, you're warm and cozy. Somebody comes in with like some chicken noodle soup in the book and they read it to you. And it's like that feeling to me seems very fallish, even though when I think of the movie and the book, I think of like big, bright blue sky, green, grassy fields. It's an interesting juxtaposition because of the meta narrative. I hate that sentence. I hate that I said those words together.
Narrative?
I was going to let it slide.
Do this, man.
I was going to let it go.
Please kick me off. Oh, my Lord.
It's an interesting juxtaposition because of the meta narrative. Does it reveal deeper meanings or themes within the subtext? In analyzing the text, I think we have to consider the context and the cultural, the cultural perspectives of both author and audience.
Dude, this guy gets A's on his essays.
For real. Keep going.
But okay, no. Here's my two fall books. All right. Number 1, Catcher in the Rye. I think it has something to do with the school themes. I think that book actually takes place around Christmas time, but to me, it is fall.
Kasey,
but
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
Have you read Catcher in the Rye? Because I have not.
I haven't. My brother is named Holden, though, but he's not named after that Holden.
Wait. Oh, I forgot about that. I don't know. In my heart of hearts, I believe he's named after Mr. Caulfield.
Why would you know? You literally made a visceral noise, like how you had a visceral reaction.
That wasn't like a throw up. That was like a no way.
I thought it was like
sounded disgusted.
Well, because Catcher in the Rye is it's a litmus test. Do you guys ever have media litmus tests? Like
kind of like
what are you talking about?
Like, okay. To me, if someone's read Catcher in the Rye, asking them what they think about it or like what they think about the main character is very revealing.
Yep. Totally agree with this point. Great point.
My other litmus test piece of media, and this always
American Psycho.
That's a good one. Right? No, that is a good, right? Ask someone what they think about it. And it's less about whether they like it or don't like it. It's about why they like it or don't like it.
Yes.
I like it because Christian Bale's someone to aspire to in that movie.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think I like him as a role model.
He just, took control. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
But another good one is The Last Jedi, but let's not talk about The Last Jedi on this show.
An incredible film, 10 out of 10.
Well, again,
Rogue
right?
One's sort of
whether they like it or not is not the issue to me. It's why they like it or don't like it.
Yep.
But this is the most important fall book, right? I don't care what anyone says about anything. There is no piece of media on planet Earth that distills the feeling of the month of October better than Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah. I knew Jamie, good old Jamie boy was going to drop this in here.
Yeah. I'm
knew
running for $5 that every time I talk to James, Something Wicked This Way Comes will come
read
up
it,
in conversation.
Read it and find out, Mr. Over the Garden Wall. It blows it out of the water.
Yes, it is my Over the Garden Wall is the thing that I bring up all the time because I love it.
Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like.
No, for sure. I just think it's fun. I like that you like Something Wicked This Way Comes, and I want to read it. This book,
oh my goodness, life-changingly fall experience. Last year, I read it during October. I'd just moved. I'd read it in the school courtyard as the leaves fell off the tree. When I tell you, I think something changed in me. I mean it. I'm a different person now. That book in October is a religious experience, and I cannot recommend it enough.
Okay. Hey, you've convinced me.
There's a movie of it that I haven't seen. There's a Disney movie. I've heard it's the only Disney movie to feature a decapitation.
Whoa.
Something Wicked This Way Comes is kind of a freaky book.
Except for Walt Disney's snuff film. That one's got
except for the
crazy
procedural
Sleepy
video.
Hollow?
No, the one where they put him they put his head in the eyes.
Okay, wait, Sleepy Hollow, first off, incredible piece of fall media. Second off, hilarious that could be considered a decapitation movie.
Yeah, that is actually, that is a good piece of fall media. Oh, another good Disney fall media, Fox and the Hound.
Ooh,
You're like,
goated.
I don't want a movie that'll make me go, eee.
That
Fox
movie will
and the
make me
Hound.
sob
He's going to be
my
like,
eyeballs
Old
out.
Yeller is such a great piece of fall media.
Yeah.
Fox and the Hound, you gotta admit, that's kind of a steezy pick. That's kind of
Okay. I
elite.
haven't seen Fox and the Hound since I was like 6. So
Yeah, I watched
cannot
it
remember
once and avoided the feelings that it gave me ever since.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't believe in feelings. Oh,
What about?
oh,
Go ahead.
y-
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I wanted to switch it to a different kind of media. Because
Okay.
I think, okay. So when you said the definition of media, there's one piece of media that you left out. And that piece of media is video games. Video games
Ooh.
are an interesting place to talk about seasonal stuff because I feel like it's not as particularly coded. Like I don't see a lot of games and go, that's a winter game, that's a fall game.
Yeah. No, me neither.
So I'm trying to think, what games have I played that feel like fall, feel like autumn?
I mean, I have summer. Like to me, Firewatch is a summer game.
Sure, lots of summers actually. There's a lot of games that I can play and feel like summer or spring. Like I would venture that something like Breath of the Wild gives me very like summer springy vibes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because of the
okay.
greens and blues. But
Like most of Studio Ghibli's filmography falls under summer spring for me for the same reason.
My Neighbor
Fair.
Totoro is a fall movie for me.
No way. It's
Okay,
hard spring.
Here's why.
Is this
it's-
the wind thing?
Yes, it's the wind thing.
Mhm.
It's
We've
hard.
talked about this.
It's hard spring in that the colors are very not autumn and they're very spring. But one thing, in California, the only time that it gets windy is near fall or winter. So when I see that movie and its entire focus is about wind moving through the trees, what does little old me think of? Because it's always green and blue here, I think of fall. And to other people, very much that will not happen because fall is different where they come from. But My Neighbor Totoro is like the only movie that really perfectly captures like California fall to me, even though it is Japanese summer.
Interesting. I would venture that
Okay.
Spirited Away is maybe the most fallish. Of
Yes.
Spirited Away is a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. High five, Kasey.
Okay, but quickly back to video games because I know we're all gamers.
No, yeah, I want to explore this further.
Yes, me too.
Do you have any, or were you passing that to
Oh.
us?
Okay,
He's
well-
passing it to us.
Well,
Wait,
I mean, like,
no.
I got one if you guys want. I got
what
one.
is it?
yeah, share.
So, theme of New Beginnings, right? This is going to be a little bit of a stretched pick, but I think it could be cool.
The Charlie stretch.
Charlie Stretch, Outer Wilds. Doesn't
No, not a
Outer
stretch.
Wilds feel like a really good game to play cozied up? Because like the game starts with you around a campfire, right? Like roasting a marshmallow, the stars above you. It feels comforting. And even though the game is like this big existential dread of like you're going to die, and you can't really stop it no matter what. And I'm trying very hard not to spoil the game because you should know nothing about this game going into it. So please go play it. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but absolutely it has this feeling of like I like to explore while in the safety and comfort of my own little home while it's cold and windy outside. And
L plus refunded after 1 hour.
you refunded it after 1
Yeah.
hour?
Yeah.
You're a coward. Oh
Yeah.
my. James,
Sorry.
Outer Wilds is my litmus test for people. You know how we're talking about litmus tests? If people don't like Outer Wilds, I do not trust
No,
their takes
I know
on games.
I know so many people who couldn't get into it, who wanted to love it and couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I
because you got to get past the first hour. I also did not like the first hour or two, but as soon as you get into the meat and potatoes, as soon as you start unraveling the way that this game completely changes how game progression works as a thing, you're going to love it. The DLC is also very interesting because it hits on the spookier side of fall. But again, I won't spoil. Please go play Outer Wilds. It's going to give you that cozy exploration theme that you're sort of looking for. New beginnings.
I'm trying to think of fall games, but I keep hitting our like spring or
I have one.
Casey.
Do it.
Listen, I'm not a
gamer,
like that.
but
I'm not a gamer, but in the App Store, I want you to go on a journey. with me.
Focus Salon 3.
Open your app store.
Viewer,
Okay.
open the.
I'm opening
Do it with
Hold on.
Casey.
One
I
second.
want you to tap in the name Cats and Soup,
Cats.
Oh.
Okay, got it.
Here we go.
and you're gonna download that game, and
Okay.
you are going to watch cats
Oh, it's adorable.
make soup. It's adorable. First of all, it brings me such joy. And the land that they're in is either perpetually kind of like sunny or rainy. So you can't necessarily tell if it's in the summer or if it's in the fall. I'm going to choose, for convenience sake, to say that it's set in the fall, right? And you just
Downloading and
have
opening right now.
all of these cats that help you make soup. Not only can you dress them up and name them, but you can have them, you can upgrade the soup, you can make little break areas for them, because we're not a dictatorship here. All right? We exercise our fall coziness by extending it onto our cats.
I'm excited to play this after the show.
This is a very cute game. I'm also
It's a
hyped.
very cute game.
I have a piece of fall media. I actually have a couple. I mean, games.
Yeah.
First, and this is mainly just a me experience. Pokemon Black and White were the first Pokemon games to incorporate a season cycle, meaning that as you played, the seasons would change. And I have very distinct feelings of playing that game during the fall, and like some of the music would change depending on the seasons. It was great. But the other one that I think thematically feels more like fall to me is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That is a fall game. It's got some of the spook, but it's also got some of that nostalgia cozy for me. I think it also does feature one of the warmer color palettes of the Zelda games. Clock Town or whatever it's called is very orange throughout. I'm going to have to consult with some of my other video essay peeps about this topic, because there are some game gurus over there that I need to consult. But those would be some immediate picks. You know, Disco Elysium, I think that's more winter than fall.
Yes, very winter.
Yeah, so I'm sad to not be able to. I'm not just going to... There's a temptation to just take anything that could be perceived as cold and lump it in fall, but I want to be fair about this.
Okay. I got a weird one that may or may not work.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts. Minecraft.
You know what?
What season's that?
To me, spring.
Ooh. I say summer.
Okay.
But could be fall.
I think for me it's spring, because it is new beginnings. I think of making a new world with the friends. It's usually, I don't know, I feel like normally my Minecraft phases line up somewhere in like March.
So this is the thing. Minecraft is one of the very few games that I have observed that people play in genuine like phases, like periods of time. Yeah. Like they will love playing it for like a month or 2 or 3, not play it at all for 7 months, come back, and it's going to be like the greatest experience ever again. And it's seasonal in that way. Like it repeats, and it's so fascinating, because as a game design student, I don't know what the hell is making it do that. I don't know what makes it have that sort of cycle. It's the same way I feel about Sea of Thieves, weirdly enough.
Yeah, that's a perennial game too.
And it's probably because like there's not a huge like explicit progression system, so progression is based on what I feel like, and it's just giving me time to reset. But I like that both of those games have like, I play them around the same time of the year, not because they specifically elicit it in a seasonal memory for me, but just because that's how long it takes for me to get excited for them again.
Yeah, no, fair. Sea of Thieves but Sea of Thieves honestly does have some like fall. I don't know. Sea of Thieves feels more like fall to me.
Oh, it's so summer for me.
Interesting. Something about pirates.
That is interesting.
Little hint of spook that makes me. Oh, do you smell that pumpkin on the wind?
Yeah. Speaking of
Pirates of the Caribbean, it's like summer blockbuster. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I agree. Summer blockbuster. Sorry. But I think, speaking of spook, there's like, I think the blatant video game would kind of be like Dead by Daylight, right?
Great pick.
Dead by Daylight. Or there's also there's another like Halloween themed platformer that just came out. Pumpkin Jack, I think it's called.
Pumpkin Jack.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Colby Jack. Sorry.
The cheese? But I'm trying to think through our Socratic backlog. The Sixth Sense.
Ooh, that's definitely a fall movie for sure.
Definitely a fall movie.
What about, and reaching back into our freshman year of high school, To Kill a Mockingbird?
Very fall.
Very fall.
That's an interesting. Yeah, Oh wow, I'm just scrolling through and I just passed. There's a lot wrong with Corpse Bride. Yeah, I didn't like Corpse Bride very much. I kind of stand by that. I think.
Did I really say there's a lot wrong with Corpse Bride
I
as the
think we
title?
acknowledge that they were horrible for each other.
Yeah, the title is there's a lot wrong with Corpse Bride, followed by oh gosh, our Halloween logo is so good.
Yeah,
It was.
It is a cutesy little logo.
Followed by the Nightmare Before Christmas Halloween special.
Yep.
Okay, because we said no like crazy takes. We were very like analytical and good. Like we did a very good job of moderating our opinions. Here's the weird thing. This is a complete tangent, by the way.
No,
I
that's
have a
fine.
really hard time coming up with episode titles sometimes because you got to strike a fine balance between what we actually say in the podcast and what will make for a good episode title. Bullet Train, impossible to come up with a title for. So difficult. Because like we all said, yeah, it was pretty good. Like it was fine. I guess there's some things I didn't like, but like because you can't clickbait. I care about you, audience. So if you guys ever have title suggestions, though, and I mean both people on this podcast and the audience, please write them down in the comments. If you know that we're going to do an episode, just write in the comments, hey, Charlie, you should name it this. And maybe I will name it that and include you in the description. Who knows?
Okay. You want a crazy one?
Yeah.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
I know this one didn't just say that.
I mean, I think it is. Maybe it's because I'm looking at our backlog right now and I see the orange and green logo, which I love that color palette. That's such a fall color palette too. It's giving a little cantaloupe, but it's also giving very much of fall. But Venom. Maybe I'm just getting tired and I'm running out of things to say.
I hate Venom.
But
so
consider
much.
No, it's good.
Wait, here's the best take. Willy's Wonderland is so fall.
Shut your fall. That's
then I raise
so
you
fall.
Five Nights at Freddy's is so fall.
Guys,
Yes,
where
it
do you
is.
no,
It is.
no,
Legit.
no. Maligna.
Oh,
Malignant.
Malignant's fall.
Yeah,
God, I love Malignant.
definitely
Maligma.
Because that movie is like a horror movie, but it's so ridiculous that it makes me feel comfortable.
Wait, what do you think about Wes Anderson? Is Wes Anderson fall?
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is, but like Moonrise Kingdom, is that?
Ooh, summer. No, for sure summer.
That's summer. I
What
feel
about-
like we shouldn't because I feel like his color palette
Is very it's
fall
warm. It's
into
always,
it's always warm.
Mm-hmm.
What about
So
the
I
French
guess it would
Dispatch?
check off that.
French Dispatch is spring and summer.
I don't know if I can keep defending you.
What, you think that's fall?
Maybe more so than this is hard.
No, it's just Fantastic Mr. Fox is
Hold
fall
on.
and like maybe Bottle Rocket.
Guys,
and
guys,
Rushmore.
guys, you know what? You know what is always fall themed?
What?
Giving. Fall is the season of giving.
Yeah, it
And
is.
one of the best ways you can give is by supporting your favorite content creators at Patreon.
Oh, true.
Real. You're proud of me for this one. Which is why today we would like to take a moment to do the long-awaited return of the Patron Questions. And by return, I mean since last month. Today, for those of you who don't know, gosh, I need some sort of jingle to give me energy going into this section. For those of you who don't know, Patron Questions and Answers is a very simple segment where patrons give us questions and we give you all answers. Today, we have 2 questions from our patrons. The first question, what movie do you want to do a podcast on if you could get everybody on board? I know what Charlie and Kasey are going to say, and I'm going to resist.
What am I going to say?
I want you to answer. I want you to say it.
No, what do you think I'm going to say?
If I
Ask you
say
first.
if I say it, you're just not going to say it, and then I'm going to look silly.
I would not do
I
that.
already know what he thinks.
I
we're gonna
know
say.
you know, because you asked to watch it.
Why do you think that you would not like Paddington 2? It seems like a ridiculous take.
That's a fall movie.
No,
but-
it's not. It's not a fall movie.
I haven't actually seen it, but I just feel like a cozy little bear would be a
Peter
fall guy.
Rabbit,
Yeah. Oh, Winnie the
Nope,
Pooh.
summer, spring,
Winnie the Pooh.
fall.
Wait.
Very good.
Peter Rabbit is summer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, weirdo. What
Blue and
movie
green
do you-
Bambi.
What movie do you want to do if you could get everybody on board? Charlie, you answer.
Okay, well, I would love to do The Conjuring. It'd be so fun. It'd be so fun.
Free me from the shackles of these two.
Look, you're gonna watch Barbarian, and it's gonna be more disturbing than Conjuring.
Barbarian,
for real.
guys, I'm scared. I told some
No,
friends I'd see a
yeah.
horror movie with them.
Yeah, you chose something terrifying, James.
I
Right.
didn't know. I thought it was going to be dumb and bad.
You're gonna watch this, and when you watch The Conjuring, you're gonna be like, "Why did I not want to watch this for so long?"
Conjuring, yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I'm gonna get one of our. I'm gonna get one of the guests to make us watch Conjuring, so that
No.
you
Listen,
finally-
my dad's
Please,
already willing to put the $50
No.
up.
I've raised the ransom.
No, you can't move the goalpost.
I've moved the goalpost.
It's inflation. We got to get more money.
I've done it. Guys, if we do the Conjuring, I'm quitting. If we do the Conjuring, I'm going to real quit.
No.
No.
I am. Talk to me after I see Barbarian, and then we'll see how I'm doing mentally. I think it's going to change me.
You're gonna be a puddle.
Physically, I'm fine.
No, yeah, I'm going to come out with my hair snow white. What about you, Kasey? What's a movie you would... Don't address it. What's a movie you would like to do if you could get everyone on board?
This is a great question. I mean, y'all know I don't shut up about Empire Records. I feel like
Ooh.
it would just be a great, ridiculous movie to watch. But I think on a deeper note, if y'all just wanna join me in this astral plane, if we were to watch, like, maybe in 2 sessions, all of Scenes from a Marriage,
Ugh.
because
I'm unfamiliar.
I enjoy pain. You're unfamiliar. So basically, Scenes from a Marriage it's like similarly to Marriage Story, but it's way more like heart-wrenching, at least in my opinion. It stars Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain.
Oh yeah.
As like a couple that they move apart, like viciously separate, and then they come back together, but neither of them are perfect and neither of them should be together.
Did you
And
just
that's
spoil it that they
all-
get back together?
You can literally see in the trailer.
Okay,
that
I
that's a
didn't know.
thing.
All right, I didn't know. I haven't seen the trailer. You're explaining it to us. Why would you
Oh,
assume
sorry.
I've seen the trailer?
I don't know.
Is there really a big twist that they get back together?
I feel like yes, it is. What if you went into Marriage Story knowing they were gonna stay together? They don't. But what if someone told you that?
Well, they don't. I'd say they're a liar because they
Okay,
don't.
all right, whatever.
I'd say they're a liar. That's
listen.
hilarious. But yeah, that would be my choice.
That would be fun. I would like us all to watch this little Swedish thriller called
Shut up. Shut up. No.
called Red Dot.
Should we tell them about it? Can you tell them about it, James?
Yeah, I can tell them about it. So there was an idea once to gather a group of people. There was an idea to do a fun episode where we do like Netflix roulette. Like we just get a random movie, and the movie we got was this Swedish thriller from 2021 called Red Dot, about a couple on the rocks that go camping in northern Sweden, and get pursued.
Picked a direction.
is-
don't know where.
it is
it
north.
specifically northern Sweden?
Yes, it is northern Sweden. All right. And they're pursued by a sniper the whole movie. To its credit, it was not bad.
No, it's awful.
I think it was the most like completely meh. Like it checked the boxes of being a movie. It had zero scenes that made it stand out. It was just completely one note. It was all right. But
I don't know. When they were about to take a drill to the pregnant mother's womb, that was pretty wild.
that was pretty wild. Yeah, I was genuinely impressed with how tense some of it could be. Just sucks that the whole thing was so meh. But after watching, we all decided there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to say. which is why we're here today doing this special episode. Honestly, I think this is the better. You guys are in the good timeline if you're hearing this.
Wait, there is one better episode that I think we should do.
Yeah.
There was one movie that we chose for the Netflix roulette right before.
Oh, the butterfly thing?
Because we did spin the wheel twice. We got an Austrian movie about 2 tuberculosis poets, whatever that means.
Oh, gosh.
And I so badly want to know how that works. Like, what is a tuberculosis poet?
I think they're poets with tuberculosis. I bet it's like The Fault in Our Stars.
But that's like so specific as a thing. Like, that's got to be an interesting. It's got a 7.3 on IMDb. It's got to be good.
I guess.
Okay.
You can watch it. Let us know how it is. But for real, the movie, we've already done Pacific Rim, so I can't make that joke anymore.
Yeah.
I think I'd want us to do. Yeah, I don't know. This is hard. We've done most of the movies I really wanted us to see. I've shoehorned in one way or another. We've never officially done an episode on Children of Men. But I think I've talked about it so much I don't know that I have anything else to say.
How about Casablanca?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to. The thing about being obnoxious and forcing us to just watch movies I like is that when we get questions like this, I don't know. Oh, wait, no. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
So specific.
That's it. You guys need to watch. Never mind. You guys need to watch Marcel the Shell. That's it.
You and 2 people that work for whatever studio published that. Was it Annapurna or was it?
It was A24.
It was A24. Yeah, you and 2 people from A24 have seen that movie, and I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
Night is Short. Walk On Girl.
Oh my God! Actually, yes. Can we please talk about that?
Wait,
guys, why don't we just do that as an episode? I love that movie. I love it so much. Yes, it does. Oh, it's so good.
To me, it is summary, but I could entertain fall. I could hear
it's
it.
like totally. It's hard for it to be a season specifically because it all takes place like at night.
In one night too, yeah.
Okay, but that bookstore feels very fall to me.
Yeah,
there's a book scene. I know, Kasey, you don't know anything about this movie, but we should really do an episode on it. I'm so with James. It's so good. But
that's a banger.
Yeah.
But okay, there is another question.
There's another question. Who is the best villain in your movie watching experience? Bonus, who is the most understandable villain? As in, you really get why they are the way they are and kind of feel for them. This is an insanely good question because there's so many good villains and I have a hard time narrowing it down. I think let's start with if you can answer both in one swoop, go for it. I think one of my favorite villains of all time is Gus Fring. He's not really understandable. I mean, yeah, like he has a motive, but he's not like, they were right. Also, Judge Holden from Blood Meridian.
Oh, he said the other one. He did it. He found it. Is
the most horrifying fictional character I've ever encountered. Judge Holden is an insane villain because he's like, I don't know how to even describe it. Those are two. Neither of them are understandable though. Like I don't root for either of them secretly deep down. Thanos was right.
Oh yeah, actually, best movie villain ever.
Yeah.
Do you have takes on this, Kasey? Because I do, but I'm still sort of formulating.
Yes, I have takes. I think for my best villain, I'm gonna go with Joker as my best villain. Comic book Joker.
Oh,
that's still. There's a lot of runs.
Yeah, comic book Joker. If we're saying specifically, I think he put his whole kneecaps into the Death in the Family. Like that whole arc, he was being an absolute like Black Air Force energy.
Yeah, he was a monster Joker there.
Monster. And then for my understandable villain, I feel like I'm gonna go with I feel like I could go with Killmonger.
Real.
Yeah, man, listen.
Say what you will.
Hearing a white guy say "real" to Killmonger is so
Real.
funny.
Real.
Hey, man.
Hey, but true, James. I'm with you, man.
For real. Yeah, and those would be my two picks.
Oh God, I actually win for most understandable villain, because you just can't refute it. It's the shark from Jaws. That's right.
Oh yeah,
So
they deserved
understandable.
it.
Yeah, it's a shark.
Yeah, I mean,
What are you gonna
Yeah, I
expect him to
understand
do?
it.
Not eat y'all? Like, come
Yeah.
on now. Come on,
T-Rex
don't
from
do that.
Jurassic Park. Come on. It's
What
a T-Rex.
about Kingpin and Into the Spider-Verse? He wants to see his family.
Well, he shouldn't have been a horrible husband.
He
Mm,
wants to
sorta.
see he just wants to see his family.
Okay, but best villain. So here's the thing. I think this is an interesting question because it doesn't necessarily presume that the two are synonymous, but I think that a good villain to me is not necessarily sympathetic. Like, I think a really good villain just makes me dislike them, but yet they're also like charismatic and charming in some sort of way. Like, I enjoy them as a character. I'm not completely disgusted by them. And they have this intrigue and interest. And the person that perfectly embodies that set of characteristics to me is Colonel Hans Landa, whose name I just mispronounced, from Inglourious Bastards. Christoph Waltz, an incredible all-time great performance. I think this might also be entirely wrong, so please correct me, people in the comments, but I think it might have been one of his first performances. And he just nailed it. And he just got like an Oscar for it because he was so good. But it's an incredible performance by Christoph Waltz. And also the character is so evil, like so down to his, I mean, he's a Nazi, right? Down to his core bad. But he has this like devilish charm to him that he's constantly bringing out. Like he has this line where he goes, "That's a bingo," and he says it in a really funny, ridiculous voice. And you're like, it's all the more terrifying because this guy is ridiculous and sadistic. So you just got to watch Inglourious Bastards if you have not, because what a truly great movie. But Colonel Hans Landa, he's got the stuff that I'm looking for.
He's got the stuff.
He's got the right stuff, kid.
He got the right stuff.
So thank you for the wonderful questions. As always, we enjoy doing this, and I hope you continue to support the show. Thank you very much. If you would like to have a question answered on the show, do so by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Socratic Cinema for as little as $1 a month. Isn't that crazy? I have another interesting villain who I think comes from a movie that, dare I say, has Halloween fall vibes. Dun, 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 dun. You guys ever seen the Batman, baby?
No.
You ever seen the Batman? Let me tell you something. The Riddler was a really good villain. I thought the Riddler was
I'm Paul Dano.
He's so ridiculous.
He was good.
The Riddler has been spoiled for me because there's a running joke in my apartment about the scene where Paul Dano goes, no, that's not how this was supposed to happen.
But
And we just say that
good.
whenever anything mildly bad ever happens.
No.
'Cause it's so
He's so
ridiculous.
good. He's good.
So funny. I love to hate Paul Dano because he's a great actor, but
It's a little silly performance, but I think he's a very good villain. But I think the Batman, undeniably Halloween vibes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That's
I mean,
one-
it
you know what?
starts off on Halloween
That's
night.
going in my fall watch list. I'm adding it right now. Hold on. Everyone stop
okay.
what you're doing.
Yeah, holding. All right. Yeah. Nobody say anything on the podcast until James finishes this.
I'll let you know. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
No
about
tap-
like I want to take us into some Disney original territory. Y'all
Wow.
remember? Right. Okay. So when I'm like, technically, I know Hocus Pocus isn't a Disney original, but
Oh,
it gives
real.
me Disney
Yeah.
original. I mean, it is Disney original, but not like Disney Channel original.
Okay,
Right.
Well, those are different. Yeah.
What?
Are you
What?
talking, Kasey? Are you talking about DComs, or are you talking about just movies made by Disney?
I'm talking about DComs, but I'm saying
Okay.
within DComs, like what brought me to the thought of DComs was Hocus Pocus
'Cause they
I
would always play
recently
Hold on. Wait,
Yeah,
are we in
because
the
they would
military? What
always-
the hell is a decom?
A Disney Channel
comedy.
original
original
movie.
movie.
Oh, I'm in
Lemonade
a podcast with
Mouth.
Disney adults.
My name's
Oh,
Kasey
no.
Clark. You're watching Disney Channel.
No. We almost, real Socratic tidbit. Kiki almost gave us a Disney Channel original movie.
Halloween
Oh.
Town.
I don't know. Is Halloween Town a Disney Channel original? I thought it was in the
Yes.
same vein as Hocus Pocus, where it was like not really, but they just played it all the time.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
I'm
a
not-
good question.
I'm not
I
sure.
always just
Like
assumed.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl is not a Disney Channel original.
No,
but
they
just
did
play it all
play
the
it all
time.
the
They
time.
played it like it was. I don't know.
But
That's an
on
interesting question.
And within DComs, we can look at specialty, seasonal. Like, you remember when they would do like the Halloween crossover events?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Like, we could even
yeah.
talk about those. Those are iconic.
Iconic. Oh, wait. Speaking of television shows, Stranger Things season 1.
Season 1?
Mm,
Or whichever one had Halloween in it. I
Season
forget
2.
which one.
Season
Season 2.
Season
The one with Reagan's posters everywhere.
Yeah. That
Because you
would've-
know
one with
me,
Reagan?
Reagan's biggest fan. This guy
Yeah.
right here.
that's a jump scare enough.
That's
Reagan,
pretty good.
no.
That's pretty fall
Hey,
back.
well, hello there, my fellow Americans.
Yeah.
It's the worst
Terrifying.
Reagan impression. I don't even know who that's an impression of.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna.
no idea.
I was gonna
No
let you
idea,
sit
actually.
with that
But
one.
that's okay.
I think. Do you feel officially commemorated into the fall season?
No.
I do.
Yeah, me neither. Because it's currently. Let me check my. Hold on. It's currently 86 degrees outside. So frankly, I don't either. But
Oh.
we're gonna have to because we're out of time.
Oh,
I know. Ring the
Oh,
bell. Hit
no.
the bell. I didn't hear no
Ding
bell.
dong. Ding dong.
Thank you for tuning in to a most autumnal episode of the Socratic Cinema Podcast. I hope you maybe enjoyed a different sort of episode, like not just about one specific movie. If you did, let us know. We'll do more. We're trying to mix things up. We're trying to keep it fresh for you guys, like the movie Fresh. Let us know in the comments what your favorite fall movie is, because that's really what I want to know right now. And if you want to do a little spieling, I can spiel for you for a quick second. I'm going to keep it simple. Social media, Instagram, Socratic_cinema, Twitter, Cinema Socratic. Follow them, stay up to date, never miss a new episode. Ring the bell, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the comment, do it all. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, patreon.com/Socratic Cinema, as little as $1 a month. Next week, I'm going to write a slam poetry for that part. Maybe. Hit the bell. Bells ringing.
Bells ringing, ears bleeding. Oh no.
Whoa.
But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time with more Socratic Cinema. Adios. Woo.
Adios.